And welcome back. With me right now from Third Mutual is Bill Walsh. Bill is the first vice president. He's here to report on several things that's going on in Third. Welcome. Nice to have you here today.
Well, glad to be back.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time I come and talk to you, about energy issues, but today I'm going to talk about all of the maintenance and construction issues and the initiatives that the board is on, because we are doing a lot.
Right.
I actually brought a list of the projects we're doing, and it numbers into the 30s that are going on.
Really? Wow.
And this is Third alone. You've got United, that's doing almost probably as many, and GRF has got a boatload of projects that they're working on. So we're keeping staff busy, and I just want people to know that there's a lot of work going on in the community. I think they see it. I think they're doing a lot of concrete work.
Right.
We really put an emphasis on concrete work in the community to get a lot of things that are deteriorating corrected.
But you're right. There's a lot going on, and
there is, and staff is working like crazy. And the boards are always bringing something new for them to do, or find a contractor to do it. I guess the first thing I'd like to talk about is the brush removal at the corner of Carlotta and Ridge Route.
Right.
That's become a safety issue because of the homeless population.
Right.
And all along that fence line, that wall that goes by there, are full-grown trees. There's brush, there's undergrowth. And so when security people from the village come through, it's on both sides of the wall.
Yeah.
They can't look through that foliage and see if there's anyone in there. It's a great hiding place.
Yeah.
And on the outside, it's actually an easement that was originally going to be the route of Ridge Route, but they changed it. So there's an easement through there that the city actually is responsible for. So we're going to clear all that out. Brad Hudson worked with Chris Macon of the city, and they gave us the go-ahead to be able to clean out that part of the brush on the city side. We just signed a contract. I just think Brightview, I think. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But a company that does a lot of work in the community. It's going to take about a month to clean this out. We're talking about hundreds of feet of brush along the fence.
Right.
And why we're going to do that first is, first of all, to allow security people to look in there, but to be able to see if anybody's in there. We've already taken couches and other things, or mattresses, out of that area. And once the brush is removed, we're going to be installing fencing that's going to be higher and more difficult to get through. We have gone round and round on the fencing because those walls in certain areas there's some 9-foot walls that are not a problem at all. They're more towards the Carlotta side, but then it drops down to 3-foot walls. And trying to figure out how you can put fencing on a 3-foot wall that's going to be deterrent. It's not going to be a fail-safe, or it's not, we don't want to build a penitentiary look.
Right. And here's some footage that we're showing here of that area.
Okay. And so you can see the brush and stuff. So we can get it cleaned out.
Now, will most of those trees be removed too? Or are you looking?
They're gonna clean out stuff like this. This will all be cleaned out. The bigger trees will be either removed, and the dead ones are going to definitely be removed. And then they're going to bring the trees down and thin them out. So it's going to be like a big tree like that one there that's showing right now. That's probably going to be taken out.
Yeah.
So you can see that wall isn't very high.
No, it's not.
So we're gonna get that all cleaned out, so you can see from either side of the fence if anybody's lurking in there. Okay.
Very good.
And so that's a pretty major project for us. We're really trying to put a lot of emphasis on the safety of the community, which is a segue for me right into the walkway lighting over in gates 5 and 6. Right now, you have these little pagoda style light fixtures that run along there for the most part into gates 5 and 6. We went out to bid, and we've chosen a bidder. I think they're writing up the contract now to put in about a 32-inch high bollard that spreads about a 10-foot radius lighting in there to try to light up the sidewalks. It's not the ultimate answer. We're going to be in there probably for the foreseeable future, extending the circuit so we can put more lighting, because the distances between some of these lights is it's more like a beacon than it is really
Yeah.
lighting up the sidewalk. So we're going to be hopefully that work starts sometimes this summer, late summer anyway, that we
Okay.
can get that going. This last week, I haven't checked with staff yet, but on the schedule, the company that did these trash chute cleanings in
Right.
the 3-story buildings is supposed to begin the repair of the trash chutes. Apparently, some of the chutes themselves are in disrepair, and definitely the doors on many of the chutes. So there's 81 buildings
Wow.
that they're going to have to go through, and so it's going to take them a while, but it's something that's needed to be done. I mean, like a lot of other things, they're worn out in the community.
Yeah.
So they're going to do those. Dryer replacement in the laundry rooms, that's a big subject for a lot of people who live in 3-story buildings or in buildings where they use a standalone laundry room. We just had a meeting last week and we're going over the finances of that.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize, but the people in 3-story buildings pay a surcharge for dryer and washer replacement and water heater replacement in those laundry rooms. And they also pay for the replacement costs.
Okay.
Well, we've got enough money in the budget to replace the dryers with more modern and commercial dryers.
Okay.
And we're looking at the numbers where how much we think we're going to probably charge 50 cents a dry. We don't know. We haven't figured out what kind of timing, whether we're going to do it for a quarter for 15 minutes or whatever, however we're going to do that. But we're running the numbers. We're having finance help us with that. And so we can reduce the surcharge on that for those folks. Address signs, big deal. If you ever try to drive around here at night, it's almost impossible to see. But the reality is that probably 98% of the people who drive around Laguna Woods drive around during the daytime. They come and visit their friends in the daytime. And finally, just after struggling with this, we had a lot of people involved in driving around 3rd Mutual, trying to figure out, should we address it with cul-de-sac signs? How should we address it with building signs? We finally settled on
But you bring up a very good point. And there's 2 things that you have on your list here that, as long as I've been here, have always been on somebody's list.
Yeah.
The walkway lighting and the signage in general, but particularly the address signs.
So we're going to put in gate 14 and over in gate 6 and the 212 cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Some pretty good signs. The signs are probably going to be like this. I'm going to put them on buildings. Now, some residents and some of the board members have gone out and walked these areas to figure out what is the best place to place these signs. We've got people in 3-story buildings that have helped us. Even former board members have come forth to try to help to look at this situation. This is only the beginning because we've still got to deal with cul-de-sac signs, and where to put them so they can be seen at night if you're driving along. So
now, moving on, you also are forming, because you are going to talk about energy, you always do.
Yeah, I know.
The Energy Task Force.
Right. I know.
I know, Bill. He's always going to.
Right, exactly.
You're going to sneak
you got
in
my
somehow.
number. We are forming a village energy task force, and so we're going to suspend the 3rd Mutual Energy Committee. It was the only energy committee going, but now that GRF is starting to look at ways to save money on energy consumption, and United has always been there doing that, but since we decided that it would be better for the time and resources that staff has to have one meeting for the community rather than 3 separate meetings where they've got to sit through where staff has to sit through these meetings, and the resources for setting up agendas, writing meeting minutes. We would do one to combine all. And it's a task force because governing documents wouldn't really, the lawyers weren't real happy about 3rd kind of taking the lead on an energy committee and inviting in United and GRF. So once we got through those hurdles, we're going to set up, on the 5th of July, we're going to have a meeting on the charter, and set up a charter for this task force and go from there. But the idea is that we've all pretty much are in the process or have already hired energy consultants who can advise us.
Right.
And for third, the real issue for us that's on the top of our list is to have somebody go assess, particularly in the 3-story buildings, our energy needs, our energy. Look at the infrastructure the way it is today. Look at what we can do to improve it, and give us some ideas on what actions we can take. Okay, solar electricity production. We finally got staff to run some numbers for us on how much energy we're producing with those solar panels we put on the 12 buildings. They did a thorough examination of one building, which was about a normal size.
Yeah.
It was, you could call it the average installation size. Okay. We, through extrapolation, are probably going to save the community a little over $200,000 a year in electricity costs.
Oh, very
We're going
good.
to generate $200,000 a year for the next 25 to 40 years.
Yeah.
Those panels are that good, and they will stay in production for that long.
Yeah, very good.
So it's saving us money.
Yeah.
It's going to take us about 10 to 12. It's probably going to take us about 12 years to recoup the initial investment. But after that, it's all free electricity.
Yeah,
essentially.
very good.
I didn't put it on your list, but over the weekend we got an e-blast. I wasn't in town at the time, but it was brought to my attention yesterday that the Garden Villa Breezeway pilot was shown in the e-blast, where we had put new carpeting in the breezeway of a Garden Villa building. Well, that's not what the breezeway pilot is. We actually, for safety reasons, because have you ever walked in the breezeway of a Garden Villa building?
Long time ago.
They put AstroTurf. I'll call it AstroTurf. To show you my age, but you know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
artificial
about.
turf.
Yeah.
And it's recessed about 1.5 inches from there, and we've always felt that it's a tripping hazard.
Yeah,
of
course.
If you're not watching what you're doing, and at night it was at night before the LED lights were put in the breezeways, it was treacherous to go up and to visit somebody at night in these. So the breezeway pilot was to fill those areas in with concrete. And they've done it in the 2384 building, the 2385 building, and they're about to do it in the 2386 building. And in the 2384, if anybody wants to go over and see that, it's already completed. We looked for dry rot and didn't find a lot. They put new screes in for drainage to make sure that we doesn't set up a moisture condition, and they've sealed it, and they've sealed it in 2 different colors. One color is for the walkways, and the other color directs residents of that building where they can put plants.
Yeah.
So
I remember. Well, I recall seeing that
right.
That you
so
you folks have that
if anybody wants to go over the
presentation.
2384, I mean, don't disturb the residents there, but you can go up and have a look and see what it looks like with the new seal coat and everything.
Okay.
And then one last thing. The CPUC has okayed Third Mutual's purchase of the 788 light poles.
Okay.
And we're now engaging Siemens. They're going to be involved in guiding us through all the paperwork that Edison's going to throw at us. And then they're going to have to retag all those poles. I've said that before on those meetings. And then we'll start the process of taking them over and putting LED lighting in, and probably new fixtures on, arms and different things like that.
All right, very good. So a lot of work going on.
A lot of work going on.
Yeah. Well, glad you could come on and update us.
It was a pleasure.
We appreciate it, and of course, all this, some of this stuff is going to take some time over the next few years. Some a lot less time, but that's just the nature of it.
It is.
Yeah.
We don't have a budget to do it all at once.
Yeah.
So we have to plan all this work, and staff has been very good at doing this. So we appreciate it.
Very good, Bill. Thanks.
You're
Always
welcome.
good to see you.
Good to see you, Ken.
We'll be right back. You know, it's interesting. I've always said, the way the